Do you have a small business and would like to sponsor Navigate Denied? Make sure to send us an email at navigatedeniedpodcast@gmail.com and we'll get back to you. We have different tiers starting at $50. It's either product placement or you can have your featured logo in the episode. So make sure to send us an email at navigatedeniedpodcast@gmail.com. Hello, 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 everybody. It's Annika LaQuette here, the host and creator of Navigator Now podcast. Y'all, I got my sister on. Because one thing for sure. My girl is that girl. She's a diva all the way around. This girl I have met years ago. Okay, this is my sister, my mama sister. We met at Bronner Brothers, okay, in Atlanta. She's been my sister since then, y'all, like years in the making. So I want to introduce my girl, my good sis, Tori. Hey.
Hey everybody, I'm so happy to be here. It's been a long time coming, but even for us seeing each other, but I'm so happy that you allowed me to be on your show. So thank you.
You're welcome, girl. I'm so happy you're here too. So for me, I know who you are, but for the people who do not know, introduce yourself for me.
So I am Tori Sherease, the model, Tori Sherease, the actress, but also go by my government Latoria Stowes. That's what was on the latest project. So if you saw that, then you saw different than Tori Sherease, but it's all the same. So been modeling for oh my goodness, a really long time, but professionally I got signed in 2021. I was with them for about 3 years, no longer with them now. So now I'm a free agent again. And, it's been a good experience, learn what to do, what not to do, how to network, how to find your gigs. And because I started modeling, that opened up the opportunities to start acting as well. And then just taking strides to get there. So that's where I am now. And I recently had a project a couple months ago with Tonio Armani and his music video. So that's the latest and the greatest right now.
Yes. Okay, I saw the music video. It was really good. Y'all, my girl is working. You're welcome. She's working now. She's working. We are going to get into that. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But so you did speak of modeling. Like I said, that's when I met you. Modeling. We modeled together. So what inspired you to become a model and an actor?
Well, it's a long story. I'm trying to make it short as far as modeling goes. So, being from a small town, I'm originally from Alexander City, Alabama, the real A. And so, my grandmother, she had a lot to do with that. She was always a trailblazer in her own right. She and her friends started a group, and they would have like Easter fashion shows and different things like that. And so, of course, they needed models. So, she volunteered me. So, that was my initial start. I love people tell people that because how they say you plant a seed in a child, and that's what they know. And then I just really enjoyed it. And so over time is when supermodels like Tyra Banks came on the scene, who I felt looked like me, and she was making strides in her own right as well. And so I was inspired by her. And still being from a small town, I didn't know that I was ever going to have the opportunity. And then America's Next Top Model came out. And, I didn't even audition for that because, I was just in my head about everything. And at the moment, honestly, I felt like I wanted to do fashion behind the scenes. So I moved to Atlanta and I actually pursued fashion at the Art Institute of Atlanta. And it was there that I was working behind the scenes with different people like Freddie Leva. I worked with Kristen Davis from Sex and the City. Like, it was a few people that I worked with. People probably know their name, but people started asking me, why aren't you modeling? They thought I was a model. I was like, I don't know, so it was other people that kind of poured into me to remind me of what my grandmother started. And so I started freelancing in 2017 or 18, something like that. And like you said, that's where we met each other at Bronner Brothers hair show. And so it just transpired from then. And so during COVID, everything of course was online for real, like 100%. And so I would be at work, but I would always follow these certain models, certain brands that I'm inspired by or wanted to work with, as well as model agencies. And so the agency that I ended up been with, it was called Ursula Whitman Models and Talent, and they still exist. Like I said, I was signed with them for like 3 years. My contract ended, but it was a great experience. It was one particular night I was at work, and they was promoting their open call. And so they was like, submit everything. I did that, and they like everything was just immediate transaction. Like they say something, I say something, and then next thing I know, they was like, I left, went to work, came back, and they was like, come next week. And so I went there, and it was just a good experience. I took my pictures, like, and honestly, I remember, I think that was my third time. How they say third time is the charm. I had been with them, not with them, but I auditioned for them 2 other times prior.
Wow.
And I never got it. And I reminded, it was one of the models that was interviewing me, and I reminded her, like, I know you, like I came a few other times, and we just had a great conversation. And I took my pictures and I left, and then they called me like the next week.
Wow. You see how
Yeah.
life works? That is
Yes. So
wow.
yeah, delayed but not denied. So it definitely did happen. And again, just thinking about how long I had been at it, in which there was a break in between, but being consistent, maybe like 3 years just freelancing before I really got like the opportunity where I was signed and was able to like really be represented. It took a while, so, and even after then, you feel like you've made it, but then it's more work to do, because when you come in the door, then they're giving you all these things that you need to do to prepare your portfolio,
Yep.
and you're not in competition. Like, I've never looked at myself as in competition with other people. However, in that industry, like when a client comes to them, they're going to have portfolios of so many other models.
Yes.
So you just want to bring your best foot forward. So some of that means, just working on the internal you, being great internally, like yourself, you know what I mean, like the self you Tori. Then outside of that, and so I'm always working on that, in my foundation. I do have a spiritual foundation, so that helps for sure, because you get discouraged along the way sometimes. But then in the natural, you have to have your portfolio together. You should be working on your skin, your teeth, how to speak. Like some of these things, we didn't even practice for. Like, I've just learned along the way, like how to try to polish myself
Right.
for what I was going into.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
completely understand that. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Polishing yourself, making sure you basically are a brand within yourself,
Mhm.
and how
Mhm.
you carry yourself. And people, like, when they see you, they're like, okay, what is her story? Just by looking at her. So it's a lot that models go through. Okay.
It
And
is.
y'all, she telling y'all the tea for real. She getting into it.
Yeah.
So you briefly like talked a little bit about who inspired you to be a model. So I know you said Tyra Banks, but are there any other people who inspired you, like, coming up in order for you to be a model?
Of course, Iman, like she
Mm.
was always on the scene, still just gorgeous, flawless, seeing her in everything, videos. I think she was in Remember the Time. That was the first time I
Mhm.
remember seeing her growing up, and I was like, oh my God, like she looked like an Egyptian queen. So she was one. Beverly Johnson. And then just growing up in the time that we grew up, like we know about fashion fair makeup,
Mhm.
but doing my history and my research, I learned that fashion fair was one of the brands back in the day that started like the fashion runway scene for Black models. So
That's good.
I was inspired by that. I was inspired by Jet Magazine. I feel like I'm telling my age now, but but yeah, all of those things, just growing up, especially like I said, being from a small town, all you knew is what you saw on TV or in the magazine. And at the time, Ebony and Essence was big. And so I've always been really into my Black history. And so, when you start honing your craft, you got to do your research,
Mm.
About the brands, the people, just to learn more, and to have knowledge about the industry that you trying to pursue. So
Yeah. I agree.
Mhm.
I do agree with
Oh,
that.
and
Yeah.
let me not forget,
Hmm.
and of course representation matters, but all
Right.
the Victoria's Secret models. Yeah, Victoria's Secret had a fashion show yesterday, but
Yes.
like this time it was Tyra, Heidi Klum. I always
Hmm.
loved them too. Giselle, like, yeah, so
Yeah.
it was many, but those are like,
Mhm.
you know, the main ones.
Yeah. I love that a lot because Victoria's Secret, they literally like bought out athletes. Like people like that you see do like society think boyish things, even though it's not boyish, it's girlish. But people who are in these masculine positions actually on the runway, looking feminine, looking good. And I'm proud of Victoria's Secret, like putting these faces out there for people to see. So
Me too.
they doing it.
I saw someone's post today about I know who you're speaking of, Angel Reese, and so
Hmm.
I'm proud of her. Like, she's done so much before she even got out of college. Like,
Right.
that just goes to show like that this new wave of technology, what it can really do.
Hmm.
And so I'm proud of her. And I saw some
Yeah.
negative things online, but people are gonna talk whether you do good or bad. So clap it
Yep.
up for Angel. I'm proud of
Okay.
her. I couldn't be happier.
Yes, I'm proud of her too. She doing the dang on thing. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have a company. I want to make sure that I'm saying this right. You have a company and it's called Work Your Gifts. Okay.
Yes.
So that has been in the works for a long time. Since I've known you, that's all you talk about is work your gifts, work your gifts. So talk a little bit about that and like what motivated you to start that.
Work your gifts. In 2020, right before COVID happened, I had
Mm-hmm.
started planning a model workshop. I hadn't been a model, but for so long, like I said, didn't get signed to 2021. But I believed enough in myself that I had enough knowledge to share with other girls or guys. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this workshop. So in February 2020, I was trying to figure out, okay, I'm gonna do the workshop. What's the name gonna be? And so my cousin
Right.
was like my right hand man, and so he was like, "You always talking about working gifts." I was like, "You know what? That's it." And honestly, it came from the Bible about you know, having a gift and the gift making room for you.
Yep.
And then I love that's a proverb, I think, but in Habakkuk it talk about though it's denied, writing your vision down, making a plan, and though it's denied, I mean, though it's delayed, it's not denied. And so that's kind of like where both it came from both of those scriptures, just knowing that I do have a gift. And even though I might not be where I want to be, I can be doing something. So I started Work Your Gifts model workshop and just always pushing work your gift. And I started a podcast at that particular time too. And it was called Work Your Gifts as well. And so I had people on there who could talk about their gifts. And so it wasn't just focused on modeling, it was about what gift do you have so that you can inspire, elevate, and educate other people. And, because a lot of times you might be in an area where you're not exposed. And we have technology and TV and all this stuff now, but still, like when you know someone who does certain things, or you just hear what they do, it can inspire you in a way to make a light bulb go off in your head and be like, maybe I'll look into that. Maybe that's what I want to do too. So that's what happened. That's how that came about.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, that's all you talk about. Work your gifts. And I love how you reference the Bible with that. That's the same thing with this
Mhm.
show. I reference the Bible, never gave denied. So I like the little play on words and stuff. So
Yeah.
yes, I love
And like
that.
one
I
of my
really do.
favorite groups, Destiny's Child Baby. That's how they
Mm.
started. That's where their name
Yep.
came from. So,
Exactly where
you
that name
know,
came from.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, people don't know about that. But yeah, you just dropped it.
Girl, look, again, showing my age. But
It's all
yeah,
right. It's all right. I got
they
you. I
them
got you.
girls. They them girls.
Period. They are. So you did, like we just stated before earlier, you were in the Tonio Armani's Help Me Find My Draws, girl, okay?
Yes,
Love that
girl.
title. I love that title. So like
Yes.
tell me how you land that role and how was your experience with that?
Okay, so again, like I'm not even signed again, and I forgot one thing to say before um I had got started, that before I was signed, I always said that God was my agent. So that never has changed. And so now that I don't have representation, like I'm saying it again, because that's exactly how it happened. So I'm still like researching through these same platforms. And I'm not a gatekeeper. So for those that don't know, you can sign up on Actors Access. You have to pay a fee, nothing's for free for those looking for opportunities and think you're not going to pay anything. That's not, you're going to have to pay something. Now, we can go in detail off camera about what you should and should not pay for, but after that says it is a fee, but it's not that much, and I think you pay monthly. And so on that platform they have a lot of opportunities where you see jobs for acting or what have you. And so that's where I found it posted that they were looking for 2 different female roles, and I auditioned for both of them. And so they called me. Did they call me? No, they sent me an email. Actually, I got an email the following week, and after I auditioned for I auditioned for one. I submitted for 2, and I auditioned for the one that I guess they saw fit for me, which is the one that actually booked. And so I played Deaconess Clark, and she was a handful, girl. And when I was trying to figure out how she mad, for all of you that seen her that did not see it, Deaconess Clark was something else. She mad about the pastor having a side chick, but it was like she was the side chick because they never said she had a wife. I mean, he had a wife, so I don't know, girl. But it was just fun. I had a great time because from the time I came in, after I got introduced to everybody, like I was in character. Like the young lady who played the mistress, as soon as I saw her, after I found out her name and that was her, I was always like stank face, so it was real. It was getting real in that, girl. But we had a great time. Just working with Death Row, working with Kevon Price, who was the director, and the whole team, and meeting Carlos. Carlos played the pastor, and so he is a nut, girl. He had me laughing the whole time, so it was good.
I will give you 5 seconds to send an email to navigatornowpodcast@gmail.com in order to be a sponsor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, now that's really good. Like that opportunity is a beautiful thing, and you did a dang on thing, girl. So I'm proud
Thank
of you.
you.
You're welcome. I'm so proud of you. So the next question is like, how do you mentally and physically prepare for like your acting roles and also prepare for a shoot?
Well, of course, they send you the information, whatever you need. And since COVID, a lot of times, because you're not like a listed actress or actor, like you might have to do your hair, you might have to come with your makeup ready or whatever. And so even for the video, I did initially do my hair and my makeup. And when I got there, they had makeup and hair on deck. So they refined what I had already done. And so just getting sleep, being as prepared as I can, praying, of course, having a good meal, just and being a model, that kind of helped me be prepared to be an actress as well, because you have to be disciplined and be working on yourself before you get in front of camera. And then the day of, like I always like pack my bag, like I have like stuff you wouldn't even think, like, like in the makeup bag, you have to keep like things, hygiene things, you have to keep things for your hair, makeup, all the things. So I do the same thing. I just go overly prepared. So if no one there has what I need, I got what I need. So that gives me peace. And I try to be early so that I'm not stuck in traffic, because you do not want to be late. Just all the things, like if you work in a real job.
It's exactly
It's
like
a
working a real
job.
job.
It is a real job. So
yeah, y'all, I'm telling you, she's telling the truth. Like acting and modeling is literally like working a 9 to 5. Like you got to be prepared at all times. You never know what's gonna happen. Like
it's so unpredictable.
it
Even
is.
when the staff try to be, I work with good and bad, but even when you have great staff and they try to prepare you, it's just you have to plan I've heard somebody say before, expect the unexpected. So that's what you have to plan for. So just try to be as prepared as possible, and then be a chameleon so that you can adjust when it doesn't go the way that it was planned.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. So I know that you said like a little bit about paying to do certain things, like acting roles and different things like that. So this is not the question that's on here, but it just made me think because this was kind of like a controversial thing. Like when I was modeling, people were saying that you shouldn't pay for model calls, like it's a scam if you do. Do you believe in that? Like if you pay a model call fee, like what's your feelings about that?
It depends on, I think, the brand. Most of the time, I'm not gonna do it,
Mhm.
but I think if I know the person and I know what the expenses is for,
Right.
then I might do it. Like this during earlier this year, it was one model who was having like a model call for her. She had like a line that she did with Sheem, and so she was looking for a model like the face of her collection. And so I think we had to pay like $15 to submit for that. And so those costs, she mentioned what those costs were for, and it was only $15. We ain't talking like $1,500. So I
Right.
was like, okay, I got $15. So to put me in the running for what was going on. And so I felt like, because that was fair, like I said, I knew where the money was going, I was open to it. But like if you go somewhere and they talking about you got to pay $1,500 up front, like when I was like 17, my brother took me to this place that they were promoting like a model and acting call over the radio. I forgot the name of the company. But again, I was in a small place in Alabama, and so they went to the nearest city, and so we came, and they was like going through this whole spiel or whatever. And so I took pictures and all of that, and then they called back maybe the next day or so. But like, I can't remember what all was said because it was so long ago. I think I was like 17 or something. But like the lingo, like they wanted me to do like lingerie and all of these things, and like you may actually do that, sign it with a legit company, but I'm like, I'm 17, why am I
Right.
doing that? My mom already didn't want me to do it anyway. So of course they were talking about it was this fee and this and that, so that's where they drew the line. Once they said it's a fee and it was lingerie for my mama 17-year-old, I was out the race. So yeah, so I'll say it just depends. You have to do your research. Again, there's no excuse for us now, with the internet at our fingertips. If you just you can probably go to Better Business Bureau and look up a business and see if it's legit, and then Google that business and see what comes up. Google the reviews if there was an opportunity to leave a testimonial, anything like that, to see what people had to say about it. Just things like that. And if it's a modeling agency, if you find one of the models on their page, maybe you can look up that model and even go further and reach out to that model and see what their experience has been.
Right. I agree. There was,
Yeah.
matter of fact, a few years ago when I was like in high school, um, it was like this Disney thing, like that was over the radio. Something that you just said, like similar to that. Like they would promote over the radio about modeling slash like casting calls for like Disney roles and stuff like that. And me and my brother went out to that, and they was asking for like a lot of money too. So when because I meet friends everywhere. So the people I met there, they was like, "This is a scam. They want this amount of money. They're not really giving people roles, things like that." So I agree. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
paying like
Mm-hmm.
thousands of dollars just to do like an acting role, I don't think that's real. And I haven't heard about that business till this day. Like, so I don't know where they're at right now. But
Wow.
you
Yeah, and
learn.
then one that I know people may have a lot of questions about, who I used to work with, was Barbizon.
Mhm.
And but the thing is, just me working inside, what I was always taught to make sure I educate the people on was that Barbizon is a school. It's not an agency. So if you're attending a model school, then that's a little bit different versus an agency, because an agency, normally you may fit the bill up front to get your pictures or um your comp cards or something, but then that's positioning you to get in the door for in the running for a client to choose you as a model, and then when you get paid, you pay the agency a certain percentage, and
Right.
so that, you know what I'm saying, like it works like that versus you paying somebody something then you don't never hear from them. So it just depends. Like I said, you got to do your homework and use your discernment and ask questions. Yeah.
Yes, ask questions, y'all. Okay, y'all hear this? This is you tell the truth, y'all. Ask those questions, okay? So the next question I have. So this is something that caught me off guard because when I was looking at this on TV, I said, "Wait a minute, you was
Girl.
on Ambitious, okay? I saw you in the cut. I'm like,
Yeah, girl.
text her real quick. I said, girl,
Yep.
yes, it was on Ambitious, y'all. Like, if y'all haven't seen that, it's on Tubi, okay? And it's really, really good. They should come out with some more seasons, okay?
I know, girl. It was so good. I was really just like feature background. I was on there, I think, 3 different episodes. So,
You were.
and it's crazy because I never knew when they was gonna show it. So every time I saw myself, it was because somebody else sent it to me. So that was pretty cool. And so I met some of the main actresses on there, of course, and or talked to them. And so that was fun. And that's how I actually got started. I told you how I kind of got started with
Right.
modeling, but the acting, I just started submitting for like background roles because I'm in Atlanta and they shoot everything here. They always
Yes.
need background. And so I don't really go out for background roles now. And not that I'm too good, but once you level up, it's just like something about going backwards. You know what I'm saying? And you can
Of
always
course.
learn something, you know what I'm saying, on that level. But then when you get that opportunity where you're in a speaking role or something like that, it's just a little bit different.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. I agree. Because there's a lot of actors, people will be very surprised. There has been a lot of famous actors who were background and they
mm-hmm.
never went back. Like, ever
And
went back.
then it's like a start for you. Like, it's a lot of projects that I've seen now that's older that I never knew those people who we know now. And you be like, oh, there goes such and such.
Uh-huh.
And so it's just like, the stepping stones to get to where you're going. You got to start somewhere.
Yep.
And sometimes people look up and they be on those projects and, somebody might pull you out the crowd and be like, we need you to be here 10 times or something, versus once. You just never know. So,
Yep. Right place, right time. I'm trying to tell you.
exactly.
And you can't be afraid to get yourself out there. So I agree. I totally agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
And this has been a work in progress too. Believe it or not, I'm still kind of shy. And
I know. I know.
you know, but like, it's a little bit better like when I know the people, but that's what I'm consistently working on is just staying open, to meet people and introduce myself because people might see you, and then like I always try to just impress myself first, but especially when
Period.
I'm going to something like that, so that's the conversation starter sometimes and a way for people to get to know you. But outside of that, sometimes people never approach you and you have to approach them, just introducing yourself. So that's another thing that you have to learn how to do, just to be a little bit more outgoing in those environments so you
Yeah.
could get those opportunities as well.
I always
Because I
tell
know I
people,
got a rest and be face, and
yep,
I've been
me too.
told that I got to work on that. And I don't be meaning no harm. I really don't. Like, I'm really down to earth. I'm really, like, just one of the friendliest people you can meet. But it's just my face. Until I smile, I think people think, oh, she mean, or oh my God, like she's not approachable. So I have to remember to present myself in a way that I am approachable.
Yeah. I always tell people use your voice. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to get in those spaces, you need to talk, you need to speak up. Yeah. So I agree. Use your freaking voice because you never know who's listening.
You
I'm for
don't.
real. You never know. So I agree with you with that. So the next question is, where does like your confidence come from? Like, how do you feel about being confident in a space where it's always about your appearance and like people like nitpicking, like, oh, you need to dress like this, you need to look like this. So how do you feel confident in those moments?
Honestly, it don't really bother me because I'm looking to improve and enhance myself. I'm never complacent when it comes to what I really want to do, and um I'm wanting that information. If someone has some critiques, positive critiques for me, then I'm open to receive those. So it doesn't really bother me. And then I've grown up in a household, fortunately, that my parents were always pouring love into me and telling me how beautiful I was and reassuring me in those areas that my self-confidence is out the roof.
Okay.
And not to the point where I'm arrogant, but to the point where I know who I am, and I will also pass that along to the next person. So it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I understand. Yep, same here, same here. Y'all, let me tell y'all, she even got the dog Marlin. Okay, she got her baby Marlin. Okay, with his cute self. Yeah, if y'all
Thank
don't follow her,
you,
y'all need to go ahead and follow her because she got the baby Marlin.
girl.
And I am here for it. I love little Munchie. He is so cute.
Thank
Shallow, right?
you. Yes, Shiloh,
Mm-hmm.
Shiloh Peace girl, and he's something else though. I gotta get him in school or something because he do what he want to do when he want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But he gonna be cute while he do it though.
Right. She be dressing them up and everything, y'all. I'm always here for. I said, "Oh, a new picture, a new picture." Okay, I'm here for it every single time. So
Thank you.
you welcome, girl. I love it. So the next question is like, um, do you have like any dream roles or any person like you want to work with or brand? Tell me about that.
Brand wise, I would love to be a Victoria's Secret angel.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bring back, and they did well. I'm so proud of them. Like, because I was kind of disappointed with New York Fashion Week that you didn't see a lot of
Mm,
representation of different body types. But Victoria's Secrets came with the different races. They came with the different body shapes, and so
yes.
I want to come different in my own way, natural hair if they'll let me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. I don't really see too much natural hair
Mm-mm.
popping. But I would love to be a Victoria's Secret angel. And lately I've been submitting a lot for Mr. J Bolin.
Ooh,
Mr. J Bolin, if you watching this, like, what's up? Y'all,
right.
like, can I get in there? And actually
Mm-hmm.
he's having an event in Atlanta soon. So somebody call me, please. So
Okay.
that's been a dream of mine because I actually met him at an event probably like I forgot what year it was, like early 2020s or whatever. And I actually got a picture of us together, but I was just meeting him because I attended the event. I would love to be taking pictures and I'm working for him. So that would be a dream. Modeling wise, acting wise, I would love to work with um Eddie Murphy, just on one of his projects, because I feel I got a funny bone in my body.
You do.
Like, I don't really show that too much, but I show it every now and then. But like, I grew up actually thinking him and Michael Jordan was my father. But mom was so crazy. But yeah, so in female wise, it's just so many. I can't even name female wise, but I'm just open. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I do.
I would love to be like in a biopic though, portraying. I always thought maybe I could portray. I don't know if I'm a little bit too thick to play Diana Ross when she was my age,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody always say I look like her daughter or whatever.
You
So
do.
I might be kin to the family. But I could be a cousin or something. If they make
Uh-huh.
another Motown movie, I would love to be a part of something like that. And I always said I would love to play Phyllis Hyman.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yes, yeah, because yeah, it's like you're a part of their family. So yeah, yeah, you do. You know what, me and you think just alike because I always thought like I should be like in a biopic for like Monique or something, or
Oh
like
yeah.
yeah, like somebody that's like well known, and now they have settled down and everything. Monique or something or something.
Girl, let's go. Let's do this.
Yes, I would love to do that. That would be
For
really good.
real.
Yes. So the next question is like, do you have any projects you're working on that you'd like to share?
Uh not at this particular moment. Like, I'm kind of like in limbo. researching and submitting for things right now. And in the meantime, I'm interested in getting into writing again. Like I have written plays and stuff in the past, but like just like on a lower scale with the church, and that's not low. I'm just saying like I wasn't trying to promote it and get it out there. So like that's what I'm working on right now is independent project to write and produce and direct a play for next year. So
Hey, come on, play. That'd be really good. I'd love to see that or hear about
yeah.
it. So that would
Hmm.
be really good.
I'll keep you in the loop. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited for you, girl. So the last thing is give yourself a shout out, tell where people can follow you at and everything.
Okay. So, hey guys, it's Tori Sherease. So y'all can follow me on all platforms at Tori, Tori, Sherease, Sherease.
Period. Y'all heard her? Follow on all platforms, okay? Y'all see what I'm saying? It's a brand for me. It's a brand. Period. I love it. I'm here for it.
Yes.
Yes. And I want to thank you so, so much for coming on Navigator Now podcast today.
Girl, what? It was a pleasure. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Keep doing your thing. I'm so proud of you.
Girl, I'm proud of you too. Okay? You doing a dang on thing. Period. I love
Yes.
it. Yes. And remember, yes, life was delayed, but it never gave a nod. I'm your host, Anna
Yes.
Colaquette, and you just listened to Navigator Now podcast with Tori. Bye,
Yes.
y'all. Wait, where are you going? I know you're not going to deny us a subscription. Click here to subscribe and click here to watch more because we love to see you. So keep coming back, right? Period.